This video is sponsored by PelucidFX.com.
Hi, this is Sive Morten with the daily update on EuroFX. I post my exclusive market overviews with the key political and economical events, charts and important levels on the ForexPeaceArmy.com forums weekly. This short video is a response to rapidly changing situation on the currency markets and should help you to stay on top of the game and be profitable. I suggest you to visit ForexPeaceArmy.com forum and read my analysis for the week before watching this daily video. Well guys, situation on the gold market still stands with our expectation, with our scenario. So currently I don't see any flaws that would suggest possible vanishing of the potential reverse head and shoulders pattern. So as we said, market first needs to reach some resistance area that stands very close to the weekly pivot resistance, monthly pivot resistance one. That is also the neckline. So in other words, we said that market should enter in an area between the 1250 to 1267 resistance area to touch and create the possible neckline of the head and shoulders pattern. This action up as the final leg to the upside has been suggested by some intraday targets, particularly speaking the ABCD extension on the 4-hour time frame chart, and we said this market really rarely leaves behind some significant targets and extensions, and as we said, this market should hit the target first and then turn to the downside. That has happened. So you can see this recent acceleration to the upside has reached an area that we have discussed, and currently we are ready to pass to the next stage of our trading plan. Is expect the road right to this area, scenario around the weekly monthly pivot point and 1210 1220 area where the valley of the right shoulder should be created. So market should keep some reasonable harmony with this pattern, because head and shoulders is also the harmonic pattern. We need to see some symmetry in this pattern. That's why this top as the possible second point of the neckline is absolutely acceptable. Although the neckline has some slope, it's normal. It's not too skewed for treating it as the head and shoulders, not too steep. That's normal neckline. So now let's be focused on the possible move right to this area, and here will be our major object point, because if market will fail to stop here and turn to the downside, this will suggest that market will taken out of these lows and probably will continue move to the 1000 even or even lower. But if market will hold here, we could get the development as we have discussed in our weekly research on the weekly time frame chart. That could be really significant action, and that's why that's our primary object. But still, since right to this area it's really pretty distance, I can't exclude and I have no objections against the possible taking the scalp short position here with the possible action to the downside. So now let's see what we have now right now on the intraday charts. On the 4-hour time frame chart, here is the pattern that we have discussed. It is accompanied by the excellent shape of this bearish divergence on the MACD indicator. I just will contract a bit so it's clearer to see. Also guys, here we have this potential bearish wedge that we have discussed, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Now is fifth wave to the downside is starting. Market has hit the minor target that we have discussed, 618 extension of that A, B, C bottom pattern, forming as this housing pattern. So I can't exclude that's really downward action could start, but one triggering some warning sign here I will show you. It's the bullish stop grabber on the MACD predictor. It's right here. So consider that market here has formed the bullish stop grabber that at least theoretically suggests the taking out of these highs. So prior to taking the short position, it's better to see that market will erase this pattern. So for that purpose, we need to see that market will move below the low of this pattern and erase this pattern. Personally, I prefer to trade the stop grabbers if I see that market on the consecutive candles forming another grabbers here and here, and it looks like some sort of the creeping higher across the line of the MACD predictor. When the market stands flat and moves just sideways, that is not very perfect situation, but still the stop grabber could work until market will not either take out of these highs and continue move to the target, or will erase the stop grabber by the downward action. Okay, but right now market is forming the inside candles to the stop grabber. That's why that's the risk factor, and it's better to wait when the market will, as I said, resolve this problem, resolve this situation with this stop grabber. Until that will not happen, if you take the short right here, you could get the not very welcome risk, and by the action to the upside and taking out of these highs. That's also possible. Okay, I'm just worry you about this. Really, about this possibility. By taking a look at the hourly time frame chart, well, here we see some downward development, and if it will be smooth and in terms of the bearish development, if market really already has started moving, if market will take out of these lows and erase the stop grabber, in this case the first destination point will be around weekly pivot point, because market has not reached it yet, hasn't tested it. That will be also the combination of the 100 extension, A, B, C top, 100 extension target here, and take a look. That will be the lower border of the wedge pattern on the 4-hour time frame chart. But if market will start move right here, the chances of the downward breakout will increase. It could be really the downward continuation. Well, that is what I would like to see on the current market. But as I said, wait when the market will resolve the situation with the bullish stop grabber, because that is the risk factor that suggests, at least right now, until it valid, the taking out of this high. So it could be some sort of the final splash to the upside. This market could, before reversal to the downside, could show some sort of the continuation and then turn to the downside. That's also possible. Well, so let's see what will happen. But in general, situation on the gold market is interesting and is worth our attention, since really big pattern is forming right now on the daily time frame chart. I don't know, guys, whether we will be lucky to get the short, and will we start it right? Will we catch this right from the point with the possible retracement, possible move to the 1210, 1220 area? Well, I hope that we will do, but finally, if you will not be able to catch this position right to this possible value of the right shoulder, don't be upset with that, because our primary object is to get the long position around the bottom of the right shoulder. That's our major object to watch for right now.